Imagine beer cans littered all over the floor, the overwhelming stench of kitty litter permeating the air, and an eviction hanging in the balance. This Judge Judy case is utterly wild. Pitting tenant Ms. Peterson against landlord Ms. Sahajan in a landlord-tenant dispute that quickly spiraled into a dramatic and intense courtroom showdown. Today, we're diving deep into the contentious and heated case of Ms. Peterson, the tenant, versus Ms. Sahajan, the landlord, where what started as a simple rental agreement for a townhouse up for sale turned into a messy, protracted legal battle full of surprises and accusations. Ms. Peterson had explicitly agreed to keep Ms. Sahajan's townhouse in pristine condition for real estate showings, as this was a crucial condition since the property was actively on the market and needed to impress potential buyers. However, while Ms. Peterson was away, she made the shocking and unauthorized decision to move in a pig and a cat into the townhouse without seeking or obtaining any permission whatsoever from her landlord, Ms. Sahajan. When Ms. Sahajan, the landlord, returned along with a realtor for a showing, they discovered the property in complete and utter disarray, a shocking stark contrast to the pristine condition that had been so carefully agreed upon beforehand. The scene they encountered was truly shocking. Countless beer cans were strewn haphazardly everywhere across the floors and surfaces, and the pungent, overpowering odor of kitty litter filled the entire air, clearly indicating severe neglect and disregard for the property. Ms. Peterson vehemently and repeatedly denied ever receiving any notice about the property being up for sale, despite the landlord Ms. Sahajan presenting compelling and irrefutable evidence, such as texts and documents, proving otherwise. Judge Judy, renowned worldwide for her no-nonsense and straightforward approach to justice, was clearly and completely unconvinced by Ms. Peterson's evasive explanations and her persistent attempts to downplay and minimize the extent of the terrible mess left behind. Tensions in the courtroom intensified rapidly as the tenant Ms. Peterson claimed ongoing harassment by the landlord, while Ms. Sahajan countered powerfully with photographic proof and textual evidence clearly documenting the deplorable condition of the property. At the heart of the heated debate was whether the abundance of beer cans and the pervasive kitty litter truly constituted a nuisance under the law, which emerged as a pivotal legal point in the entire eviction proceedings. The tension inside the courtroom was absolutely palpable and electric as both sides passionately presented their cases, each desperately trying to sway the formidable and unflinching Judge Judy to their side. Ms. Peterson's repeated attempts to garner sympathy from the judge fell completely flat and ineffective, as Judge Judy remained laser-focused strictly on the hard facts and the clear breach of the rental agreement by the tenant. The landlord Ms. Sahajan's solid evidence, including detailed photos and revealing text messages, painted an undeniably clear and damning picture of the property's rapid decline and deterioration under Ms. Peterson's careless tenancy. Judge Judy's growing frustration with Ms. Peterson's constant evasiveness and lack of accountability became increasingly evident throughout the hearing, exemplifying her classic direct, uncompromising, and no-holds-barred style on the bench. Importantly, the binding nature of the arbitration agreements signed by participants on the show meant that Judge Judy's decision would be absolutely final and ironclad, leaving no room whatsoever for any appeal or further challenge. After meticulously hearing all the arguments from both sides and thoroughly reviewing the presented evidence, Judge Judy prepared to deliver her decisive and long-awaited ruling in the case. In her verdict, the eviction was firmly upheld, thereby confirming Ms. Sahajan's legal right to remove the troublesome tenant Ms. Peterson from the property without delay. Furthermore, substantial damages were awarded directly to Ms. Sahajan, providing fair compensation for the extensive mess, damage, and neglect inflicted upon her townhouse by Ms. Peterson during her tenancy. Judge Judy decisively dismissed every single one of Ms. Peterson's claims, including those for damages and the return of her security deposit, determining them to be entirely without merit or justification. This resounding ruling powerfully underscored Judge Judy's unwavering commitment to holding individuals fully accountable for their actions and for strictly upholding their contractual obligations in rental agreements. Ultimately, The case stood as a stark and powerful reminder of the serious consequences that come from violating rental agreements and the vital importance of always respecting someone else's property. It was a quintessential classic Judy moment where sharp common sense and unyielding legal principles triumphed decisively over lame excuses, denial, and sheer evasiveness. If you enjoyed this wild courtroom recap, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more captivating Judge Judy dramas and exciting case breakdowns just like this one.